Niger Delta Youth Employment Pathways, NDYEP, is a pilot project implemented by PIN Foundation with funding support from Ford Foundation.
The main aim of the project is to develop model pathways for youth job readiness or workforce development that provides the marginalized youths, men and women in the Niger Delta region the opportunities to secure sustainable jobs through an intensive skills development program that equips them with market-relevant skills.
The market survey and economic study for the implementation of the NDYEP program began in late 2017, while implementation began in 2018. The NDYEP project is piloted in 3 states: Rivers, Abia, and Akwa Ibom states. In the pilot phase, NDYEP provided direct vocational training and in 4 sectors of the economy, which included ICT, renewable energy, solar, agriculture, construction, and finished leather sector.
Before the NDYEP training, I had a challenge of not finding a job, and I was in desperate need of money to survive.
The Foundation for Partnership Initiatives in the Niger Delta, PIND, in consortium with Ford Foundation, seeks to addressing the teeming population of unemployed and unskilled youth in the Niger Delta.
Having a young population in itself is not a bad thing, because it's certainly a lot of energy that needs to be put in the right place. But the challenge right now is that the economy, though has had some times of significant growth, but that growth has not been accompanied with the relevant kind of job creation, or it's not inclusive enough as a lot of people would say. So we are left with the challenge of young people being out of job.
Youth employment is a critical issue that is closely related to both economic development and the escalation of conflict in the Niger Delta. NDYEP's intervention in ICT aims to equip youth with skills such as coding and digital marketing that would help them obtain jobs in the ICT sector. NDYEP's intervention in the value chain recognized that most traditional skills acquisition programs have not adequately delivered sustainable results owing to the fact that they do not pay attention to what happens to the entrepreneurs they produce.
The approach being that is demand-driven, is market-led, and is based on data.
I believe, I am sure, NDYEP made its target, because everything we are doing is data-driven. There is data to back that up. In terms of number, instead of being a pathway to employment, we have success stories locally and internationally.
The training was competency-based. It was broad, not only technical training, but you are preparing people with those soft skills that people often say become the success factors. So not only were they trained, but they were prepared for the marketplace.
PIN does not do man know you or I know you processes. They go for what they want, the youths, the vulnerable, the PWDs, the women in society, and you want to bring them up to speed. And they have a process you must follow through. And at the end, they want to see results, and they want to see where they are.
Well, they allowed us to do our selections by ourselves. Nobody influenced anything. Governments did not come in, nothing.
We had deliberate targets: gender, people with disability.
The Foundation for Partnership Initiatives in the Niger Delta was poised towards using effective methodologies to reach out to people using different channels and online platforms such as Facebook and several other social media. Community-based organizations were used to reach out to people at the grassroots, since these CBOs had direct links and have gained trust from the people over time. PIND utilized the youth association networks and ministries of employment using PIN's platform known as ND-Link to reach out to a vast number of young people. PIND went further to use ND-Link champions, who are basically influencers with a vast number of following, and also interfaced with the different local governments in different areas. NDYEP set out to position young trainees to take advantage of opportunities across the ICT sector. Therefore, the training combined computer-aided design (CAD), computer-aided manufacturing (CAM), renewable solar access to funding for startups and soft skills. The ICT training was practice-oriented with hands-on experience as part of the training, where the trainees were exposed to functioning business processes as an added dimension of their training.
The NDYEP projects gave us the opportunity to build the capacity of our beneficiaries in software and hardware repairs and maintenance.
Self-employment was gaining traction more or less as a pathway, and it's a solid pathway for young people to find work in an economy like what we have. And so we are modeling multiple pathways to employment. And so what we've seen is young people who were trained actually beginning to make those transitions from nothing to earning income.
NDYEP carried out the training by partnering with local organizations that already had a stake in the ICT sector, which were specifically tasked with supporting the transition from training into enterprise as part of the pathways, such as accumulating experience beyond the training and provision of technical support and mentoring to startups.
As a partnerships initiative, we work with and through partners across all our program areas. So we applied the same processes for partner selection to the NDYEP project. First and foremost, we were looking at private providers mainly, so market actors, because we had the issue of sustainability at the back of our mind.
There's just one thing that PIN did that I take particular respect to, and that is collaboration. No system exists without collaboration, and they have done well by bringing state actors.
We have seen that with this program, many people are being, developed. Their capacity are being developed. Their skills are being improved, and so when they finish the training, we are sure that they will get placements in our member companies.
NDYEP intervention in the ICT value chain is no doubt equipping the disadvantaged young people with quality market-relevant skills.
The Niger Delta Youth Employment Pathways project had a target of 1,000 youths in the first year and 3,000 youths in the second year. In the first year, we trained over 1,600 youths, and in the second year, we trained 3,180 youths. So it was very impressive, and I can say we've met our target in terms of number of participants. We had a target of 40% women and at least 10% persons living with disabilities. As at the end of the second year program, we had 37.5% women on the program and 5.5% persons living with disabilities.
While the training focuses on ICT, it also includes numerous opportunities available to startups such as mentorships, partnerships, funding workshops, and trainings. In this way, the organization plans to help bring about wider networks and more opportunities for the trainees.
Currently, I'm a mentor in Study Innovation Hub, which means I transfer the knowledge I learned through NDYEP over to the new learners.
With my encounter with NDYEP, I was able to set up my own startup, which is eLabs.
What have we learned in the 2-year pilot phase? We have learned never to underestimate the importance of strong partners and transparency in the selection of partners as well as trainees. NDYEP training methods integrate business and soft skills with technical skills. It provides opportunities to apply and practice different types of skills over the course of training, and we found that to be more effective.
There were opportunities to become Google Digital Skills trainers. So those people that have taken the course and they've taken a number of digital skills training while in the hub, they became trainers even before they graduated. They were training for Google and they were earning money.
A lot has happened to the beneficiaries though. They've gotten training, they've gotten knowledge. But capacity being built, to be very fair, is this. At the end of our trainings, PIN made provision for some tools for them and it was nice.
NDYEP approach is innovative and informed by evidence from research and analysis. The pilots will be used to develop the evidence based around approaches to tackling youth unemployment situation in the Niger Delta.
We also worked with a couple of government stakeholders. From the onset of the project during the research in 2017, a lot of government stakeholders and MDAs were already carried along as to what we wanted to do. We had meetings with them personally, we had learning forums where they got invited, we had a regional roundtable where we had representatives from all the 9 Niger Delta states. We've had a lot of them come on board.
Indeed, a cursory appraisal of the project shows a streak of success stories, with its intervention in the ICT value chain is no doubt equipping the disadvantaged young people with quality, market-relevant skills. As a performance-based intervention, targets have been achieved at 100%. Finally, regarding adoption and adaptation, with more states adopting the model.